me to think the ruling elite will have to make sure that they have the right thoughts, think the right thoughts. So war is peace now. Escalation is peace, and so forth.
Yeah. Do we still have a few minutes to show some of the slides?
Yes.
If we can ask the studio, because
these are just random slides. You know, people might be interested in. This is the year 2010. You know, and this is the capital of a country, and we have been there for almost 10 years. Have spent billions of dollars, and you will see, you know, people's lives. You know, half of the school-age children can't go to school. Okay. There was an election, you know, last August 20th, for the president. So these were, you know, some of the posters.
Oh, the posters.
Yes. So. Yeah. Next, please. Yes. This is just a, you know, street life. It's getting cold. These were taken, you know, in early, I should say, December. That's a money changer. You know, you can change money out in there.
The one on the right?
Yes.
So what's the temperature in Kabul in December?
It can get very cold. You know, water was freezing in December. So, and yet, no school, Jimmie, no school or university in the entire country has either heating or cooling.
I see.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So
next,
go to the next. Go to the next.
You know, you see this. We drove by this place. You know, only 20% of the roads in Kabul are paved. Otherwise, it's muddy when it's wet, and it's dusty when it's not wet. And people, you know, buildings have been wrecked, half ruined. But people have to make a living, you know. So that's a
Is this
bakery,
a house or a bakery?
There's a bakery, you know, sanitary conditions are terrible, pollution, air pollution, water pollution, you know, other kinds of pollution. So next, please. This is, you know, this is because the government can't provide enough schooling. As I said, only half of the school-age children are in school. The other half are not in school because there are no schools. And so there's an explosion of private schools for those who have the money and those who don't have any faith. This is a private school. But it also shows water, because there's no regular either running water in the city most of the times, or electricity, or garbage collection, and there's no sewer system in Kabul for a city of nearly 4 or 5 million people. So people would have to travel, and kids have to go in these, every so many blocks there's a well and a hand pump.
Oh, I
that's
see.
the source of water,
get the water.
To get the water. It's
and the well, the water is not contaminated?
It certainly is contaminated. I mean, you can imagine, because maybe only 10% of the city structures have septic tanks. The rest are open latrines. And as I said, there's no sewer system, so I think the water already is contaminated.
And
yes.
Always on the same lines, what is the medical situation in
Terrible. The medical situation, you know, I mean, this is the country where the average lifespan is 40, 45. You know, it has the highest infant mortality, and it has one of the highest maternal mortality. No matter how you look at it, Afghanistan ranks toward the very bottom next to Niger.
I see. In
terms of the Human Development Index. Health, food, calorie intake, literacy, telephones, hospital beds, etc. It's at the very, very bottom. And I don't quite understand why, instead of building, you know, schools, hospitals, roads, factories, why the United States and its NATO allies keep bombing and wrecking the country. It's one of the greatest tragedies of our time.
Can we still have a few more?
More slides, please.
Can we see this one? This is a school, private school.
Yes, next. Yeah. Yeah, this is a street, you know. This is the old Kabul. There's a lot of old Kabul, you know, but these are streets, you know, mud structures.
When you say old Kabul, are we talking about the early 1900s, or?
Oh, maybe even older than that, you know. Yes, 1800 and so. Yes. And it's amazing, these mud structures, you know, they can last forever.
They hold on.
But you can see the roads are not paved, you know, gas tanks, and everything is all mixed up. Garbage. This is one of our introduction, because there's no garbage collection, but we have introduced plastics. So you see it. But later you will see in the nomads, sort of, they roam their goats and sheep throughout the city, and they sort of pick on the garbage and recycle it.
It's a form of natural.
Yes. You know, if you have the money, this is a store in the winter, and you have all kinds of fruits. Most of these are imported. But the grapes, the pomegranate, the oranges, and what else is there? Some of these are, of course, Afghanistan has the best pomegranate in the world.
Really?
And grapes too. But you know, if you have money, you can find almost anything.
They're imported
it's
from
rather
Pakistan
amazing.
or
From Pakistan, from China, from faraway places, New Zealand. You know, I mean,
even.
I have eaten Tyson chicken in Kabul. You know, Swedish cereal, Argentinian steak. You know, you name it. If you have money, and there's a tiny class of people, the predatory comprador class, which has become obscenely wealthy, and they can have anything they want and need and dream about. But most people live very, very hard lives.
Yes. Let's go to the next.
Yeah, you know, a lot of manual work. You know, all of this. They're trying to build drainage ditches on the sides of the roads. I think some Arab country gave the money. Now, the municipality, the mayor's office is supposed to do this kind of work, but he was discredited. In fact, the mayor, just at about this time, was tried and convicted of some kind of a fraud. But most work is done by, you know, hand. You can see a lot of that. Next, please. You know, it's a tank from the war, the Russian war, and it's being used now as a little store. So people would do anything, you know, to find a place, start some kind of a business.
A store in a tank. So
Yes.
it's things we
that's
don't see on
tank.
the corporate media.
Yes, and maybe someone lives in it at night. Yes.
The next one.
Please. And this is, you know, we drove by this place many, 4 times a day. You can see the upstairs, it's wrecked. The building is, you can see bullet holes, and
so this
has been rocketed.
Rocketed.
And, you know, but people might live there. In fact, there might be people living upstairs, and then downstairs there are shops.
There is a crane is visible there too.
No, that's it's a pole. It's electric pole.
Oh, electric.
But
pole.
no electricity.
I see.
Because the electricity is gone. They import some electricity from Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, and some is generated in Kabul. But most people don't have regular electricity in Kabul or regular running water. Next, please. Child labor is a very big problem. As I said, only half the children go to school, and of those, only half of them have buildings. So, but there are 6 and 7 million school-age children like this who have no schooling, there's no work, adults might have been killed, or they have disappeared, or they're sick. So children, you see them, there are literally 100,000 children, they estimate, in Kabul itself, trying to beg or salvage stuff, go through garbage heaps, you know. So this is, you know, that's what these children are doing, to collect something in plastic so they can use for fueling or cooking or heating.
Would they be, are there many orphans?
A lot. Afghanistan has the largest percentage of orphans, widows, and amputees in the world because of the 35 years war, not just the last 9 years, but the 35 years war. Next, please.
I think this was the last picture of this bunch.
Okay, so we're fine. We're fine.
If we were getting very close to the end, if we were to look ahead in the next year, every year we say that we're still beginning of more or less.
Yes, you always have hopes, illusions or delusions.
Delusion.
Yes.
The 30,000 soldiers have been dispatched there just now, so these people must be kept there somehow.
Yes.
And I was reading that the cost of a soldier every year is
$1 million, $1.2 million for one American soldier. Yes.
Incredible sums.
Yes.
Would you say?